Hello and welcome to Edrienia Extrasensory Elevation. It's me, Shani, once again with another video. And this time, I'm going to talk about what happens when you experience a spiritual awakening. As I reflect on my life, I realize that I've had three major spiritual awakenings. Each one was unique with its own process and significance, yet they are all interconnected. These moments shaped the person I am today and deepened my understanding of life, my understanding of faith, and my purpose. My first awakening occurred in my early adolescence, the second in my mid-20s, and the third and most profound began in my 40s during my PhD studies in 2018. My first spiritual awakening was about encountering God's love and prophecy. It took place when I was in Form 2 at the Roman Catholic Church at 𝐓𝐸 College in Tonga. It happened during a retreat organized by the Roman Catholic Church as part of my preparation for the sacrament of First Eucharist. The retreat, held at a convent led by nuns, was a deeply spiritual experience. During that time, I felt a profound touch of God's love. It was an indescribable warmth, peace, and joy that I carry with me to this day. One of the nuns gave me true prophecies during a one-on-one session. At the time, they didn't mean much, but as I grew older, I saw them come true. The first prophecy unfolded in my early 20s, and the second came to fruition 23 years later, when I was ordained as a priest, not in the Roman Catholic Church as the nun predicted, but in the Anglican Church. One of the most remarkable moments during this awakening was experiencing the power of prayer. The night before my first Eucharist service, it was raining heavily, and I prayed to God to hold off the rain long enough for the service and celebration. To my amazement, the rain stopped just in time for the event and resumed afterward. That was my first personal encounter with the power of prayer, a moment that strengthened my faith and opened my heart to God's responsiveness. The second awakening came during a tumultuous period of my life. In the year 2000, while undergoing naval training in Australia, I had a near-death experience, or also known as NDE. During my recovery, my surgeon told me, "God has spared your life for a purpose." Those words echoed in my mind long after I returned to Tonga. And I've shared this NDE in my previous videos. So for those of you who are watching, if you are interested, that video is already available on the channel and you can watch it at your own convenience. Back home in Tonga, my passion for the Navy waned. I turned to unhealthy habits, including excessive drinking, and began to feel increasingly out of place in military life. In 2002, I resigned from the Navy, entering a dark phase of my life filled with financial struggles, uncertainty, and recklessness. By 2004, I found myself reconnecting with faith through a cover group at St. Barnabas Church and having conversations with the vicar, and my studies at Faith Seminary gradually brought clarity and hope back into my life. Encouraged by the vicar of the church and my parents, I applied to 𝐂𝐍𝐉𝐻𝐾 College in 2004 and began my studies in 2005. While my time at 𝐶𝐍𝐉𝐻𝐾 was spiritually enriching and filled with personal achievements, challenges arose that led me question my place in church ministry. So by the end of my time there, I returned to secular life, once again feeling the pull of my old habits. My third spiritual awakening, it was about profound and transformative out of all my three spiritual awakenings. And this began in November 2018. At the time, I was in the depths of depression, battling societal thoughts and experiencing complete burnout. I had just started my PhD studies in Auckland, New Zealand, a milestone that should have marked a new chapter of growth, but instead it felt like the breaking point of years of unrelenting pressure. One early morning during my routine of meditation and prayer, I experienced an out-of-body experience, or also known as OBE. This moment was unlike anything I had ever encountered. I've shared the details of this OBE in another previous video, and so I won't repeat them here, but as I mentioned before, for those of you who are interested, that video is already available on the channel for you to watch. What followed, however, was a long and transformative spiritual awakening process. It unfolded in various phases. For example, there was a phase with a lot of questions, seeking, struggling, and ultimately finding enlightenment and more. I want you to know that I will share this process, including its stages and what happened in each stage in another upcoming video. Anyway, this awakening taught me to let go of all burdens and embrace a higher consciousness. It was a period of deep introspection, spiritual growth, and connection to a divine presence that I can only describe as life-changing. Let me share with you some insights from a number of spiritual teachers. These awakenings reminded me of the wisdom shared by great spiritual teachers. Sri Aurobindo, for example, said, "The soul in a man is greater than his fate. It oversteps the circumstances of its birth and the environment to which it has consented." His words reflected the power of the soul to transcend life's challenges. Another example is Rumi. "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Rumi's insights mirror how struggles and pain become the entry points for divine light and transformation. For 𝐂𝐎𝐿, he said, "I felt thrown into what seemed like a vortex of energy. Suddenly, there was no more fear, and I was filled with a profound sense of peace and bliss." His awakening echoes the deep peace I experienced during my spiritual transformation. Swami Vivekananda said, "You have grown from the inside out. None can teach you, none can make you spiritual. There is no other teacher but your own soul." His words emphasize the inner journey of self-discovery that is at the heart of every awakening. Thich Nhat Hanh, he said, "Without suffering, there's no happiness." His teaching resonates deeply, reminding us that struggles often pave the way to spiritual growth. Some of the lessons learned from my spiritual awakenings. Number one, God's call is persistent. When God's call you, no matter how far you run, His purpose will follow you until you surrender. Number two, spiritual awakening is transformative. Each awakening is a step forward, becoming the person you are meant to be. It is not easy, but it's always worth it. Three, divine guidance transcends boundaries. Spiritual awakenings connect us to universal truths that go beyond culture, religion, or denomination. Four, struggles are part of the process. Pain and challenges are often the catalyst for growth and enlightenment. And number five, awareness brings clarity. With each awakening, I gained a deeper understanding of myself, my purpose, and my connection to God. What happens when you experience a spiritual awakening? Spiritual awakening changes everything. Each awakening brought me closer to my purpose, shaped my understanding of life, and illuminated a path forward. Today, I share these experiences through Edrienia Extrasensory Elevation, a platform dedicated to spiritual awakening, divine connection, and inspiring others to discover their true purpose. Like the divine light I saw during my awakenings, Edrienia serves as a beacon of hope, helping others find their path and embrace their journey. May my story inspire you to awaken to the light within and trust the process of transformation. Let the light guide you to truth, purpose, and love. Blessings and light from me, Shani, signing off. But I will see you all in my next video.